Good evening, friends, and welcome. It's Lisa Maynard, and it's Kit Crush Wednesday. Thank you for joining in this Wednesday evening. We are going to take a look at a paper pumpkin kit, the January, called Special Delivery. So once you pop on, hit that like button or say hello. Let me know you're here. Sometimes I don't get to those comments until after because I'm so busy creating the cards and such. So if I don't say hi right away, it's okay. It's not that I don't know you're there. It's just that I'm busy creating. So without waiting any longer, let's go ahead and flip this camera around and let's get started with this week's kit. Okay, here we go, friends. This is the Paper Pumpkin Special Delivery. It's the January kit. And of course, we have some Valentine's themed or loved themes cards, and they're super, super cute. Great little envelopes that come with them that are coordinating and match. So we've got this one, then we've got another one with a rose. This specifically says Happy Valentine's Day, but there are other sentiments you could use if you don't like that one. And a coordinating envelope with that nice rose. And then another one with some blue flowers and some little like postage stamps that just says just for you. So I'm going to show you how to create these three cards tonight and a couple tips and tricks that I've learned making them the first time. So let's go ahead and look what's in this kit. Now this box, by the way, is just absolutely adorable. So if you're into keeping the boxes and things, this is a pretty one to keep. All right. We have in here our Stampin' Dimensionals and some tear and tape, which we are definitely going to use tonight. We have our instructions, which I'm going to follow to some degree. We have our stamp set, which I have placed some of them already on a block. So this little insert is very nice, and it will help you keep track of your stamps. It's just very nice to keep so you know what's missing and what you still have. So there's that. And our ink spot this month is a Poppy Parade. It's a very pretty color. It's kind of a red, but not actually a red. It's very cute. So we've got the sentiment pieces. We've got our layering pieces with flowers and gold foil. Very pretty. We've also got some other layering pieces. These are pieces that go on the card, as are these little pieces. These are like the postage stamp pieces that I showed you before. And our other one that is the die cuts, the rose and the stem and the blue flowers. Then we've got our card bases and our envelopes in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put all this stuff back in that I'm not going to use. And as always, I have my big stamp pad this tonight. So we're not going to worry about using the other one. But what I am going to do is we're going to start with one. We're going to start with this one. Let me go ahead and pull this in. We're going to start with this one. As you can see, I've already got it kind of prepped and everything for you. So I'm going to set these aside for right now. And we're going to work on this part of stamping it. So let me get these ready. Get my stamp pad in here. And the two stamps that we're going to need right there. And let me get this ready because we're going to need those in a minute. Now, we're going to stamp on these two stamps. But as you can see, they're still attached. And when I take the paper out in between them, we've got a space there. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that first. And then I'm going to show you how I place that on the card. So let's go ahead and get these out. And then we're also going to stamp this postmark in the gold part of this. So let's go ahead and take this stamp and ink it up. And we're going to place it right like this. And go ahead and give that a good press. And take that off, and it looks nice. And then our other one that's a circle with a heart. And we're going to go ahead and give that a good press right in between there. And that's how we're going to do that one. So it's very cute. Now, we're done with this. I'm going to close it up so I don't get any ink on my hand. So let's go ahead and bring in the card base, and we're going to go ahead and burnish this as we always do with my bone folder that I think I put away. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and burnish this so it's nice and flat. Then what I've seen how other people have done it is they've gone ahead and punched all the little pieces out and then placed them on the card. This is how I did it, and it worked for me. So bear with me as I go ahead and place, and these are all popped up with Stampin' Dimensionals. So bear with me. We needed to stamp that on. So I'm going to go ahead and place my Stampin' Dimensionals where they go on these little die cut postage stamp image pieces here. And then I'm going to show you what the way I did it. And you can do it however you want, but I kind of like the way I did it because then you're not guessing. It is where it is. So, and then you're not trying to guess the space. So let me make sure those are all adhered. We're going to go ahead and pull the backing off of these, hopefully very quickly. This is not the most exciting part, obviously. They're coming off fairly easily tonight, which is good. So let's keep going. We just got a couple more, and we'll be ready to roll here in just a second. Okay. All right. So this piece goes on here, or all of these little die cuts go on here. So this is what I did. I put this on as if it was going to be right on top of my card and like the whole thing. So I went ahead and did that and gave it a good press. And then what I did is I just popped out and I'm holding it down and being careful, of course. I popped out the part that was holding all the little die cuts together. And then I knew, again, you just have to take your time. You don't have to do it this way, but I thought it was a good idea because then you definitely know that you have all of your pieces where you want them. And there we go. Now, how easy was that? They're placed exactly, spaced apart, just exactly like you would want them. Got a little piece right there. And I think that looks really good. I think that looks very, very cute. Now we're going to go ahead and take the flower image, and I've already put the Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of it. And this is going to layer on top of what I just layered. So there's multiple dimensions to these cards tonight. And it's really, really fun, I think. Okay, so I think I'm going to place this. I'm going to place this right about in there, just like that. So it's not hiding that postage mark, but it just kind of accentuates it a little bit. So that's how we're going to do that. And then we're going to add our sentiment to the bottom just for you. And this is also Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to place it right about like that. And there we go. First card done. Super fun and easy. And I love all these little die cut images. It's very, very cute. So there's that one. I hope that was a good tip for you. We're going to move on to the next one. This is our next card. And as you can tell, I've already stamped our sentiment because there's some other stamping we're going to do on this card. So we're going to go ahead and place those over there, burnish our card base so it's nice and flat. And then we're going to take these two little stamps right here. One says aired mail and the other are some hearts. And we're going to step them on the top and the bottom of the card. And they're going to like peek through a little bit on our card. So let me go ahead, and I don't know if I have any right now. I'm going to go ahead and stamp on to my glass mat, but I can wipe my glass mat off. So that I'm going to stamp off on it, and that's going to be just fine. So let's go ahead and ink up the airmail just like that. And we're going to stamp this across the bottom, like so. It kind of went off the edge a little bit. And then I'm going to come in underneath that. And I'm going to off-center this a little bit. And I'm going to place my hearts right there. Just like that. I'm going to do the same to the top. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this, you know what, I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to flip it upside down. And then I know for sure I am getting it where I want it to go. So I'm going to put it right there, like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in my hearts and I'm going to turn those upside down. And this is the one that's going to stamp off a little bit. So I'm going to move these over to the left just a little. And there we go. That is how that is done. Now, I actually think I did pretty good and I didn't get any ink on there. So we're good with that. All right, let's go ahead and close this up so I don't get any ink on anything. And we're going to start assembling this card. Now, this layering piece, oh yes, we have one more thing to stamp on here. I forgot to stamp the little love, the little heart in the circle goes on this. And that's why I didn't have the tear and tape on here. So this goes right about here, just like so. Very cute. Now let's go ahead and close that up. We're going to pop this over and then we're going to put some tear and tape on the back of this because this is going to go onto our card base. And so right there, and I don't know where my scissors are, so I'm just going to go ahead and tear right now, just like so. Burnish that a little bit. I do have my take your pick, and we're going to take those off, just like that. And then this is going to turn over, and we're going to center this top to bottom, right to left, and it is going to cover up some of our stamping, but that's okay. It's meant to be covered up a little bit, and then that's that. So now we're going to layer these flowers on here. There's already the flower printed on here, and this is going to go right over the top. We've done this lately on quite a few, I think, and it adds, again, just another dimension to it and just a little bit more interest, I think. So let's go ahead and put this one on. Now I will tell you, I have a hard time to some degree figuring out how these go on and if I have them in the right place. And I think this has to go, I think this has to go like this. I do believe. And if you don't get it right on there, just exactly correct, it's fine. You really can't see the underneath. Anyway, I just kind of like to try and get them lined up. But if you don't, it's fine. It's not a big deal. How does this one go? Let's see. I don't think that it goes like that. So we'll put it right on there just like that. And again, it's not perfectly aligned, and that's fine. Now we're going to go ahead and take our sentiment, sending love, and we're going to place it a little bit underneath that and over the stamped heart, the stamped circle. And there we have our second card. Really pretty, super easy. I love the little details on the first layer of this. Very, very pretty. Now, okay, let's bring in our last card. And I've already went ahead and stamped everything on this card because you've already seen me stamp it before. So you don't even need to see me do that. And I've already put the tear and tape on the pieces that need to have tear and tape on them. So let's go ahead and move the parts and pieces over. And I'm going to show you how I adhered this layering piece to this card, because if you'll notice, this card base looks very small, and it is. It's much smaller, not much smaller. It is smaller than the layering piece. So as you can tell, let me get those out of the way, and I'm messing stuff up. As you can tell, this is bigger than this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did it. And what I'm going to do is I have the tear and tape on my card. and nothing on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take the tear and tape off of this. I'm also going to make sure before I do this that I have this the right up and down correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and just flip it over to make sure I have it where I want it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to center my card base on the layering piece like so. And I messed it up. I should have done it the other way. Let's go ahead and get that off. Forget what I just said. Forget what I just said, friends. We're going to, as I was folding that and I put it on, I was like, oh man, that's wrong. It's wrong when I flipped it over. So we're going to do this again. If you're careful, now see, people mess up. I just messed up, but we're going to fix it. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and do that again. And we're going to do it this way, so that it opens up correctly. So if you're careful and you save your piece, you can kind of do it again. That'll stay on there. So there we go. It's a little crumpled right there, and I'll fix that in a little bit. But there you go. That's how you do it. Don't do what I just did before. Do it this way. So when you flip it over, you're going to want your card base to face the wrong way. So when you flip it back over, it opens correctly. I was more concerned about the up and down when I should have been concerned about this. So there's that. We are good to go on that. And let's go ahead and bring in, it just goes to show everyone screws up. So it's just paper. It's not a big deal. And we're going to put this gold foiled scalloped piece on here. And we're going to center that top to bottom, left to right, just like so. And see, you barely notice that now. It just covered up all the other things. And it's still fine. It opens. We're good. I'm going to go ahead and probably shoot a little. In fact, I'm going to just do it right now. Let's go ahead and get out my green glue. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to that corner. And then it's going to stay down perfectly. So no harm, no foul. Pretty easy to fix. Most times you can always fix a mistake. Absolutely. If nothing else, add an embellishment or something. No one will ever know. No one will ever know. All right. I already put the Stampin' Dimensionals on this, on these, on the stem for the rose. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off just like that. And then we're going to place this on my card, and I kind of want it right about like that. So it's kind of centered because my rose is going to go right in there. And then I'm going to take the backing off of these and pop that right in there like that. Right there, just perfectly. And then I'm going to go ahead and I've got tear and tape on this because this is going to go on my leaf area that's already popped up. So I want it to stick down. And the reason they use tear and tape on this is there would be no reason to just try and add some glue dots into this kit when you can just do it with the tear and tape. So we're going to go right about right there and place that nicely right there. And there you go, friends. It's the last card. Happy Valentine's Day. So barring the issues that I had with that piece right there, that layering piece and the tear and tape and the card base being wrong, these are super, super cute. And I hope you enjoyed watching create these. And I hope if you do get, look at the envelopes, they're so cute. If you do get the paper pumpkin kits, I hope you enjoy putting this together. If you don't, please consider signing up because they are really, really fun. And it's nice to get a surprise every month that you, something new in the mail. So thank you for tuning in tonight. I really, really appreciate it. You tuning in helps me get better even when I make mistakes. And you sharing this with others and rewatching it helps also. So until next week, have a wonderful week, everyone. And button up if you're in the cold, stay warm. Hopefully the weather gets better, and have a wonderful evening. Bye.